I wanted to talk to y'all about the a story of mine as far as how I got my house. So I was working at Bank of America. I was working as a loan processor in the time where the market had crashed, right? So there were a lot of people that were upside down in their homes. What upside down mean for a lot of people who are not familiar with that is basically you're in a home, let's say for $250,000, but because of the market depreciating in value, now your home is only worth $100,000, right? So I was working at a bank. I'm not going to say their name, or I might have already said it. I don't know. But I was working at a bank. I learned the process of how to purchase properties that have been in the process of pre foreclosure, right? So I purchased a house that was a short sale, but prior to me purchasing that home, there were some steps that I needed to take for my credit. I keep getting questions about, hey, what do I need to do for my credit? My credit is not where I want it to be. Well, there are certain loans that you could still qualify for, right? So your credit score can be as low as like 580, 580. I think really for like a FHA loan. Um, but if you know that there's some things on your credit that might be in collections or not necessarily in collection, but almost there, or there might be liens, judgments, student loans, and you like, hey, I need to get my debt down and reduce my debt some so that I can afford a house. I went to annualcreditreport.com. I went there yesterday just to check because I was helping out someone who was had a question about credit and how could they start working on their credit. And I didn't know that they were still doing this, but on annualcreditreport.com, it used to be annually you can get a free credit report from Equifax, TransUnion, Experian, and you could compare the information on all three. They should be mirror images. That's how that was my process. Like I need to get all three to, look like triplets. Okay. So basically now it allows you, I think every week to check your credit report. Right now, I think they started that in the pandemic. So I started there. I had several lines of credit that were in collections, and that was keeping me from my credit score being at 621. So I could qualify for the FHA loan that I wanted to purchase my first home. This was back in 2009. I ended up purchasing my property um, on my birthday, my 34th birthday, 2009. So what I did, it only took me 4 months. Now, there was a manager who was in the process of doing a short sale, which basically you are purchasing that property at a lower cost, helping out the buyer so that they don't have to have that high of a debt on a credit report, um, since they really can't, afford the payments. So, anywho, I started the process. I reached out to every creditor. This is what I did, guys. I am not a credit specialist, so I'm just saying what I did. And I'm quite sure it still works today for the process. You contact every single account that's in collections. I, made a settlement. For example, if it's $500, I don't know what the percentage is. Some people say 50%. They can go as low as 30%. I don't know. But I think I went probably at like maybe 70%. I might have tried, I think I tried 50% on it was like a mobile, um, a cell phone bill that I had. I think it was like $1,400. I think I only paid like maybe $300, $400 for it. But at the time, they didn't have the internet, and they did not email you your settlement letter. They would mail that to you. But today's time, because made some settlements when I sold my house. I no longer own a home. I sold it July of 2022. At the time that I sold my home, with my money that I got, I paid off a lot of my debt. So basically, I'm going back to the beginning of my home loan process back in 2009. I called each collector, made a settlement, had them mail me the letter, and then I would make a payment to them and I would write to them, hey, please send me a paid in full letter. And now that, my debt has been, I've satisfied my debt. And then you would want to continue to check your credit report to make sure that they have updated your credit report. Not that it's removed. I am not that person. I know there are experts out there that can tell you how to get it removed. For me, I wanted to make sure that it was now a zero balance. So now what you can do to expedite that process is you no longer have to wait for it to come in the mail, right? You can actually have them email you the letter. I'm sorry, guys. I keep hearing something. You can have them email you the letter while you're on the phone with them. You get the settlement letter and you can make the payment right then and there. Does it update immediately on the credit report? No. I think each company has a time, a date, a time of the month that they actually report your information to the credit bureaus. So I don't know what day you may be calling them, but typically they have about 30 days to update your credit report. It might take 2 months, right, for it to show on all three. So what I would recommend is that, do the annual credit report, contact them, try to make a settlement for the ones that's in collections, and then make sure that you check the credit reports. You can do it every week, every month, until they all look alike. All lines of credit are the same and they are shown paid in full. And it typically takes about, from that time that it actually updated, sometimes it might take a month or two or even 3 for your credit score to increase. Sometimes it's immediately once it updates. So once I was able to do that, I literally, from beginning to end of that process, y'all, and my credit score, I think I probably would have been at like in the high fours, and I had to get to 620. I got to 621 to get my house. But I was above the 620. So yeah, and that's how I was able to get my first property. Just following that simple step of the annual credit report, making sure I check my lines of credit. That's what worked for me. Things might change a little bit, but not too much. I'm just giving others information on how you might want to start the process of working on your credit. And there are many, many, many credit, information or credit podcasts that's on YouTube. But personally, the person who I use and who is pretty much stamped as really super, super, she's very great in her field is Terry Cowser. And I don't be knowing if I be saying her name right, but I've met her. She's a part of, I forgot her team, but it's Terry, last name Couser. She's on YouTube, and she has been to many, many conferences for Eric Thomas, E.T. the Hip Hop Preacher, and she's a part of Make Real Estate Real, which is a real estate investing group that I'm a part of. And she comes to the conferences every year. We have what we call a family reunion of the people that's a part of the alumni. And we get together and we network. It's a really great networking opportunity. And she always does a wonderful presentation about her story. And so she is the only one that I can speak of right now. I know there was another person, my coach, my mentor. He has someone who he could recommend as well, but I can't think of her name right now. But Terry Cowser definitely is legit. I know there have been many, many, many people out there who have people that have done scams and frauds. But if you don't want to do the credit repair on your own, but you can do it on your own, guys. It really just takes you taking out your time, to sit down, to focus. It's not going to take all day. It might take an hour or two. And just look at it as you are doing this to make a better life for yourself, be able to eventually purchase a property, leave generational wealth, and not inherit, but purchase assets instead of liability. It's just really, really great to be able to own real estate. So, take out some time to plan for your future. And I pray and hope that this video helps you. And I hope that you have a great evening or a great day, because this is at night. Thank you.